Hello everyone. So in this session we are going to study about the fourth contraceptive method. In the last session we discussed about the three contraceptive methods. Those are, the first one is natural or traditional type, the second one is barrier, the third one is IUDs or intrauterine devices, and the fourth one is, next I'll tell you now, the fourth one is nothing but pills, oral contraceptives, and the fifth one is surgical methods. Before that, surgical method or surgical methods, one more contraceptive type is there, that is implants. I'll list out all the contraceptive types so that write it one more time, and you have to learn all those because so many questions will be there on the types of contraceptives. So I'll start writing very first contraceptive type, that is natural or traditional type. In 2015 it was one question was there on the natural type. List any two natural types of contraceptives. So that is for 2 mark. Let me tell you, this chapter weightage is 5 mark. One question they'll ask for 2 mark and one more question they'll ask for 3 mark. Either they'll ask in a split manner or they'll ask only one question for 5 mark. Whatever it will be there, whatever it is there, just answer the question and learn it in a better way. So we'll start with the natural type. I'll just list out the types. Okay. So in the natural type we learned the periodic abstinence. The second one is withdrawal or coitus interruptus, also known as withdrawal method or also known as coitus interruptus. The third one is lactation amenorrhea. So that is all about the natural type. The second type is barriers. In the barrier, the natural type is for females. Like the first natural type is for female, and the female should check her ovulation period or ovulation day, and she should consider that ovulation day is the unsafe for intercourse. And withdrawal or coitus interruptus, this method is for male. During ejaculation they should take out the external genitalia from the vagina. If they ejaculate outside the body of her partner, the fertilization can be prevented. And the lactation amenorrhea, this is for female who gave birth to young one. After the parturition, the initial days or the period or the few months after parturition, when she is feeding her young one, in that time or in that period or the lactation, during the lactation, the chances of menstruation will be less. So during this time, without using any measures, without using these type of barriers or the IUDs, they can have the intercourse. The next one is barrier method. In the barrier, the first one what we studied yesterday is, in the last session, is condoms. There are two type of barriers are there. One is for males, one more is for female, as I told you, but that is also called as condoms for male and female. The second type of barrier is cervical caps, diaphragms and valves. These cervical caps or diaphragms or valves, these are used with the cervical jellies and spermicide to a better effect. The third type of contraceptive is IUDs, intrauterine devices. In the intrauterine devices, we saw three types of intrauterine devices. That is, first one is non-medicated IUDs. Non-medicated IUDs. In this non-medicated IUDs, I give one example, that is nipple loop. So that nipple loop will be like this. If it get inserted inside the uterus, it will inhibit or it will prevent the entry of sperm. And the second type of IUD is copper releasing IUDs. The copper releasing IUDs, example for this type of IUDs are, let me write the examples here so that you can make out easily. For non-medicated, it is Lippel's loop it is, and for copper releasing IUD, it is CUT, copper T, CU7, copper 7, and one more is there, that is multi-load 375. So these three comes under copper releasing IUDs. The copper releasing IUDs, the function is, when it get inserted, the IUD is meant for female, and these are the best way of contraceptives, best category of contraceptive which show better results. In some cases, the fertilization do occur when the copper T, this kind of contraceptives are not get fitted inside the uterus, when they are not proper function, when they are not functioning properly. In that time, the fertilization occurs, but before implanting or inserting all those kinds, better one should consult to a qualified doctor. Now, the copper releasing IUDs, when it get inserted inside the uterus, it will release coppers. That copper inhibit the motility of sperm, and also it motile the sperm. Mortality means death of sperm. The sperm dies because it get acted with the copper. Copper will be in these kind of measures. These measures are inserted inside the female uterus. The third type of IUD is hormone releasing IUDs. Hormone releasing IUDs are, I'll write here, progesterone, and LNG20. LNG20, progesterone and LNG20. So these are all the type of IUDs. Last in the previous year, one question was there. List or mention any two hormone releasing IUDs. That question is for 2 mark. The answer should be, what you will write the answer for that? The answer will be progesterone and LNG20. Okay, so these are all the things we studied yesterday. After the third type of contraceptive, today we are going to learn the fourth type, that is pills or oral contraceptives. Oral contraceptives. This is also for females. and you have to remember all those who has to use these contraceptives. And oral contraceptives, these are based or these are made of progesterone or a combination of progesterone. These are the hormones, as you know, progesterone and estrogen. The pills are made of, the base of pills will be of progesterone or a combination of progesterone and estrogen. What it will do, let me tell you how to use these type of pills. The girl, the female, the women, she should take continuously for 21 days these pills. It will be in the form of strip. Number of pills will be there in the strip. 21 pills will be there. Starting from the first day, she should take 21 pills, and she should give a gap of 7 days. After 21 days, a gap of 7 days. That gap should be will be of menstruation, and again she has to continue as early she did. No, continue continuously or continue taking the pills. Initially she is taking 21 pills. After that she gave a gap during menstruation. Again after 7 days she has to take a continue pills. Continuously she has to take the pills for the better result. What is there in the pills? The pills will be having progesterone hormones or a combination of progesterone and estrogen hormones. And what actually it is doing, these hormones or these pills, it will show result on the ovulation. It will show result on the ovulation, means the ovulation do not occur, or it will prevent the ovulation, and it also prevents the implantation. Implantation do not occur, ovulation do not occur. Ovulation do not occur means if it is coming to the fallopian tube, means it won't receive the sperm, like that it will happen. And then one more function is there of the oral contraceptive. It act on the cervical mucus. That cervical mucus or that cervical cervix, it will prevent or retard the entry of sperms. When the sperms are coming, either this or that. So these are the functions of pills. Okay, so it will result on the ovulation. The implantation do not occur once she started taking the pills, and the pills also shows effect on the cervical mucus. The cervical mucus prevent or retard the entry of sperm. So these are the functions of pills. So how it will be, in what name in the market it is available, these pills in market, it is available in the name of Saheli. This was established or it is researched in the Central Drug Research Institute, which is in Lucknow. Okay, and one more pill is there in the name of Maladi. So this is all about the oral contraceptive or fourth type of what? Fourth type of contraceptive. Contraception means prevention of fertilization. to prevent the fertilization. Some categories are there, some types are there. By adopting in the female or the male, they can avoid the fertilization. And we'll move on to the next type of contraceptive, that is fifth one. Name is implants. Implants, that is the type of contraceptive. Don't get confused with the implantation. The implants are needle-like measures, like it will be like this, a needle-like structure, and it is injected. It performs its function as similar as the oral contraceptive. It performs its function, it shows its function as similar as the pills, but pills are regularly intaken. We had the females who has taking the pills, they have to take regularly, but implants, these are the measures if once it is injected under the skin. These are injectables, where under the skin, and it shows its result for longer duration. And the base of the implants or the content of the implants are as similar as pills, like progesterone or a combination of progesterone and estrogen. Alright, so implants are needle-like. When it gets inserted under the skin, these needle-like structures, these needle-like contraceptives, it releases the hormones, but it is having progesterone or the base or a combination of progesterone and estrogen to the blood. That the blood carrying progesterone or estrogens, it will show effect on the ovulation. It inhibit or it prevent the implantation, or it effect on the cervical mucus, which prevent or retard the entry of sperm. As I told you, it is similar as like the oral pills, oral contraceptives, but only the thing is it is injectables. It has to inject under the skin, and it shows its effect for longer duration, and the base is similar. Okay, so with this we'll move on to the next type of contraceptive, that is this. You have to concentrate. This type of contraceptive in the most common people, the sixth type of contraceptive, they adopted in their life. Most commonly preferable contraceptive it is. Let me write the contraceptive in detail on the board so that you can copy one more time, and you have to write it 2 or 3 times so that it should be in your mind. Okay, natural, barrier, IUDs. In the IUDs, I just erased that IUDs examples. You have to write next to, beneath the non-medicated, what you will write? Lipples loop and copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375. In coming to the hormone releasing IUDs, progesterone and LNG 20. Okay, so one more, let me write the fourth one here. The fourth one is pills. Pills are in the name of Saheli. The fifth one will be implants. Implants are needle-like structure having similar component as to the pills. And sixth one is surgical method. The surgical method, so this is the safest and permanent contraceptive, but these are the temporary. The barrier, the natural type is only for short duration. In that duration the fertilization do not occur. Barriers also, these are the measures it has to wear during intercourse. IUD is only for few days we can count it, and pills we have to take regularly. Implants for longer duration means after few days again the implant should be injected, but the surgical method is the one. If the person, if a male or female who has done a surgical treatment in the form of contraceptive, so she will be free from the fertilization. Okay, we'll see what's happening in the surgical method. So it is also known as, let me write here, so that is the 6th type of surgical contraceptive, that is surgical method. It is also known as sterilization. It is done for male and females. For both males and females it can be done. Common name is, or also known as, sterilization. What they'll do in the surgery, by means of surgery, what they'll do? So we'll start from the male. What the male, they are having male reproductive system. As you know, in the male reproductive system the male gametes synthesizes, and those male gametes synthesizes in the testes. From the testes through the vasa differentia it comes to, or it opens to the, or it flows through the genital or external genital. Okay, so in this transportation or in this pathway, the doctors, the qualified doctors, we have to take that, or the doctors, what they'll do, they'll block the transportation of the male gametes. I'm starting from the male, so I'm telling you the male gametes. So what they'll do, let me write a short diagram showing how they'll block the transportation of pathway of male gametes. So don't write this diagram, just follow this. So on the board we have a structure of male reproductive system. So this is the urinary bladder, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland, and external genitalia, glans penis, and what is this? So these are all the structure or the system. And one more thing, a pair of testes and epididymis, and very important one is vasa deferens. Only we are concentrating the vasa deferens. how they'll do the contraceptive, how they'll use the contraceptive method by doing by following the surgery. So the thing is, as I told you, they'll block the pathway of male gamete. So let me tell you a very brief description regarding to this. The sperms releasing from the testes, the pathway will be like this, from here to till here. The pathway or the male gametes flows. Okay, the doctors, they'll make a small incision in the scrotum. Scrotum is a pouch. It is a pouch like structure having testes. So here will be the scrotum. In the scrotum, they'll make an incision. After making incision, what they'll do? They'll cut the vasa deferens. They'll cut the vasa deferens and they'll tie back like this. Like this. Cutting and tying back. Like this. The surgery will be done. So, cut and tied. Let me draw this. Let me label this. Cut and tied of vasa deferens. Vasa deferentia. The same labeling you have to show here also. Cut and tied. Cutting and ligation also you can say of vasa deferens. Don't use the short form. What will be the next procedure? The gametes, they cannot find the further pathway. It will degenerate. So this is the method. Earlier, what they used to do, they were not tying the vasa deferens. They'll cut the vasa deferens and they'll leave as it is. After few days, it will get joined and the fertilization and the pathway, the sperm, it will get releases through this way and it passes from the external genitalia. That results in the formation of fertilization. So to avoid those misconceptions, what the doctors did, they, after cutting the vasa deferens, they used to tie this vasa deferens, this duct, so that it shows a better result. So let me tell you one more thing. This is all about the male reproductive system, and here what they are doing, they are cutting and ligation, they are tying or ligation in the vasa deferens. So that's why the surgery name is known as vasectomy. Vasectomy. The same thing if we see in the females, they also having the female gamete, they also releasing the female gamete in the female reproductive system. Don't write this diagram also. If you want, you can write, but just understand this. So we have a female reproductive system on the board, and here we are having a pair of ovaries, a pair of ovary, fallopian tube and fimbriae and uterus and cervix and vagina. Okay, so here in the female reproductive tract, it is in the females, the doctors, they use the contraceptive method on this place. It means in the fallopian tube, what they did, they cut and tied the fallopian tube so that it can be prevented the next flow of or the next transportation of female gamete in sense egg. If the egg it cannot find the next further way, it will degenerate. So this is the best way of having contraception. Okay, so here also I will show you the same. Cutting and tying the fallopian tube. So this is one fallopian tube, same way the fallopian tube. What they'll do, from where they'll make the incision, the lower abdominal region or through the vagina, they make the incision or they do the tubectomy process. In females, it is known as they are operating on the tube, so it is known as tubectomy. Alright, so the blockage of transportation of female gamete, it become nil, it becomes stop when there will be no flow of female gamete through this fallopian tube. The fertilization do not occur. So these are all the type of contraception. I'll write here. Surgical method is, one is for male, in the males it is known as vasectomy, and in the females it is known as tubectomy. Operating or cutting and ligation of vasa differentia, it is known as vasectomy. Cut and ligation of fallopian tube in female, it is known as tubectomy. Okay, so this is all about the third content. No, it is not third. The second content. The first one was introduction and problems and strategies. The second content is population explosion and birth control. In birth control, we saw 6 types of contraceptives, and you have to learn all those. Don't leave any of the contraceptive. One more thing I should tell you. Once in the previous years they asked, mention mention 2 surgical methods. Only you have to mention it. That is, if they ask like that is vasectomy and tubectomy. Alright. So refer all these. In the next session I will give the homework, write it and submit it. Thank you.